Let's try and create another way of grabbing our data with just one less of these await statements, operators here. And what we need to do is where the for starts here and where it ends, which is here, so these 5 lines, we're just going to mark them out like this. And now, just before this, because whatever, or after, doesn't really matter, we're going to create our new loop here. Now we still need the for, so I'm just going to copy this out. And of course I'm gonna end this. So we have our standard for loop that grabs the item. We still need this part. We're also going to grab our link, our Axios here. So I'm just gonna copy this one as well. So again, it's similar, but it works slightly different than the other. Now we're still grabbing this, but we're not using an await on this one compared to the other one. And you can't do this as you saw last time because I forgot to do this, then the data won't be there. But in this, the way we're creating it now, we can actually do this without waiting for each item to be sent back to each for loop, to each item before we can continue. So now we're just grabbing images and hurrying on to the next one. Awesome. So like we did in the previous one where we have a promise called then, we're going to do this one for this one as well. And this is a parentheses, and I'm just switching line for this. So we're doing then again, and then image. You can actually go down here and copy some of this, but we'll just do it by hand. And then image data, like we did before. We're storing in that one, and we're creating our fat arrow notation for the function. And in this one here, we are going to just set this a little different. Instead of being true and false, so every data has to be loaded. Once everything is done, we're going to do something slightly different now. We're going to take this and change this from a boolean to a 0. So we're going to start it from 0 or false, also a statement of false, right? And in here we're going to do this done loading and then plus plus. So for when it goes through an iteration, it changes this from 0 to 1 or more, 2, 3, whatever. And then we of course are going to do this. We're going to grab this information we have before with our source where everything is, the data we need to do. But the change here is instead of just being true and false and waiting for everything to be complete, now we're just waiting for this to succeed, and then it runs through all of this and sends it back. So there's a wait less than the other. Now, this is set to 0 as start, so that means we have to change our view show up here as well. This is depending on if it's true or false, and we can't just leave it at this now because it can be 0, 1, 2, 3, more than 2, right? It's not only true or false, it can be more than 1. So we need to just change this up a little bit and have it so if this is that way, if done loading is bigger or equal to the VP item, there we go, EP, I can't spell, VP items, there we go, VP items dot length, so how long this array right now is, oh sorry, this one, if it's bigger than actual 0, then we're going to show it, so it's basically true false, but we have more possibilities or more different values we can test on. It just needs to be more than 0 before we're actually showing this. So let's click save and hopefully this works. And go back and hopefully the images is rendered as well. So this runs a little faster. The rendering time is a little tiny bit faster. And again, each of these two here will work for you, but they're just two different ways of doing the asynchronous calls by using this await here. Awesome. Thank you for watching.